This is Wandering Dancer from Stoneblade Farm. Sorry for the shaky cam beginning. I am videoing my container garden with mistflowers and lemon balm and some peppers. Peppers, some of them survived, and then some of them are not doing too well now, and I don't even know, like, is it too much water, not enough? Anyway, we're headed over to the square spiral garden. Now, I had surgery this year in July, and it is now the 2nd of October. Recovery's gone really well, but the garden ran riot, of course. Some things have done really, really well. The elephant ears are gorgeous. They're shoulder height in some cases, and the leaves are gigantic. They definitely improved over last year. I made a purchase earlier this week of another blueberry and 2 pear trees. The pear trees will go in the yard. But I got a little frustrated because everything that I planted in the garden seemed to have gotten eaten or have died, and I was not able to maintain the way that I wanted to. Story old as time. But the Cosmos did really well. Again, like they did last year. A lot of them are 5, 6, 7 feet tall. And I just want you all to see, if you get to watch the video, I just want you to see, there's a honeybee. I think that's from the feral honeybee colony around the corner near the bridge. I've got mason bees, gigantic bumblebees. And we've had the goldenrod beetle all over. I think they're gone now, but apparently they are somewhat helpful as insects go. They eat a lot of pesky bug eggs. The Asiatic daylilies have also done well, and I've got these asters just about to come out all over. They're little tiny white buds right now, and they're sort of a wildflower, but I've loved them. I love little daisies. My passionflower vine climbed up and absolutely took over the trellis that I put it on. I have yet to see hardly any butterflies. The Gulf fritillary lives off of this and uses it for its young, and I've loved that butterfly. I've only seen a few. I don't know if they're still on their way or if they got taken out by some terrible disaster. But yeah, the vine's done really well. And I have another avocado tree that it comes back every year. I've got some zinnias that are also doing really nicely, and I've got marigolds that went all over the place. They probably started out as a seed pack, and they're just slowly going feral year after year. And look at this, I've got a pepper that survived. I think this is one of the scorpions. Where's the tag? Shoot, I lost the tag. I got out this morning. I also have smartweed, which is a local wildflower. Pretty little pink flowers. It resembles the Asiatic daylily a little bit when it's growing before it flowers, so I think I've pulled out more of them than I wanted to. So I'm rebranding my garden as a pollinator garden this year. I wanted it to be productive, but the fact is, Bluebear and I are disagreeing about what to grow in the garden. He looks at this and thinks it's a success, so I'm going to take his view on things. Here is one of my great successes, the beautiful Pokeweed. Again, it's a wildflower, it's a wild plant, but it's also very beautiful. I've got sweet potato vines over here, and I pulled some of them up and put them on the trellis. They've grown about 3 or 4 feet this year, and you know, so they've succeeded. But I thought they would climb up and over and be enormous, and you know, and gain a lot of calories for their fruit. But I don't know that that's happening, and I need to look up how to harvest them. I'm not sure when you're supposed to do. Here's my goldenrod with goldenrod beetles, busy making new goldenrod beetles apparently. Goldenrod is mistaken for ragweed, and I've been on a campaign for about a decade now here's another marigold patch. There's the watermelon vine that I planted. I got 2 watermelons from it in the pot, and they were the size of oranges, small oranges at that, and did not taste very good. So that was definitely a failure. It's making me very sad that, oh, here's the other inky bush, pokeweed bush. These berries are still good. The other one is drying up. This one's gets a little bit more shade than the other pokeberry. And we had a surprise. I think I interrupted myself. I was talking about something else. We had a surprise showing of a tomato vine over here. Let me get this guy out of my way. The other thing is that the cosmos are enormous, and they will lean over my walkway. Yeah, we had a surprise tomato come up. It seems to be a combination of a cherry tomato and a, oh, what's it called? The Cherokee. The Cherokee and a cherry tomato. So we have like a cherry Cherokee. And we've gotten actually a few tomatoes to eat off of this. I think because it's growing with so many wild things around it, it's been able to escape the those horrible stink bugs. The marmorated stink bug, which is the bane of many gardeners now in the south. It's an invasive that came in from who knows where and just ruins all of your squash. So yeah, the goldenrod is just beautiful, and it's wonderful for the pollinators. They get a lot of food from it. Oh, something just hit me in the ear. And so it's very good. Well, I think that might be a wasp. Golly, it's a scary looking bug. All right, maybe I'll just go back the other way. Non-confrontational with the bugs. There's those asters again. Beautiful asters. So we're going, and there's another volunteer avocado from the compost. We're going to call it the garden a success in other ways. My transplants of banana and canna lily have done well, and the transplant of the salvia have survived, and also the bee balm. The bee balm. And here's another volunteer tomato. Funny. But now that I'm looking, I don't see the reason that I planted that bee balm over here was a serviceberry shrub, and now I'm not seeing the serviceberry. Oh no, here it is. Yeah, I don't know. The branch seems flexible, and there's buds on it. Maybe it'll come back. I have a hazelnut over here that constantly looks like it's wilting, but it's looked like that for months. I don't know what's going on with it. The leaves are still on it. This was supposed to be the runner bean trellis, and obviously every single runner bean, I planted about a dozen, has passed, sadly. I tried to grow okra. The okra did grow. It grew kind of reluctantly. None of them plants got big, but it's still here, and I'm letting them go to seed now. The not dill. What is this? Crikey. Fennel. The fennel survived. Some of them survived. They should overwinter, so maybe next year they'll do well. And I recently learned there's a bee. That's a bumblebee. I recently learned, oh, and there's a mason bee. Great big, huge mason bee. Recently learned that is he on frame? There's a wild grass called foxtail, and it is a feral version of millet. Oh, I'm sorry, kitten. Oh, I stepped on the kitty cat's foot. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. I was talking. I didn't pay attention to where I was walking. I'm sorry. Got potatoes coming back. And I can't even walk through this area anymore. It's over my head with the Klondike Cosmos. They're easily 10 feet tall. We've planted some of the Cosmos also next to the driveway, and I think they're without garden soil and without tending. I keep just reaching down to pull up grass when I find it. They've grown about 4 feet tall instead, and that's not bad. They're very nice to see when you're driving down the driveway. So oh, I was talking about goldenrod. Yes, I've been on a campaign to help people recognize the difference between goldenrod and ragweed. Ragweed is not beautiful at all. It's just green scrub, and it's not very noticeable unless you know exactly what you're looking for. Here's my elderberry bush. It's done very well this year. And so a lot of people are starting to really get on board. I've been posting about it every year for about a decade now. I'll pull up the grass. But I discovered that there is a kind of grass that grows here. The foxtail is wild millet. This one's ready to shatter, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to shatter it. That's wild millet that I'm holding in my fingers. I'm just going to let it fall here. I'm hoping we can use it for, at least for chicken feed. I doubt that it would be any fun to try to harvest it. Oops, I just pulled some up. Well, I wanted to pull this stuff up. This is some sort of crabgrass, I think. Get the dirt off of it. But yeah, dirt. Dirt is the other thing. We need to find out what's wrong with our soil, because nothing but weeds grow well here. We can grow all the weeds we would ever need, but that's not what I'm looking for in my garden. You know, except for obviously the pokeweed. Oh, see, there I pulled up some more of the foxtail. I'm just going to go ahead and shatter those seed heads so that they can grow next year. It's hard. That's the hard thing, though. If I'm gonna try to grow grass, grass is one of our most important plants. You know, grass is wheat, grass is oats, grass is corn, maize, and yet there are grasses that are just pests, like this guy right here, crabgrass. So I've got to learn how to weed the right kinds of grass, and I think the thing to do usually is to start with the seed head and work your way down. See, that guy is just crabgrass, and I'm just going to throw it out. Oh, look at the kitty. Which guy, kitty? Is you okay now? Is your paw okay? Yeah, we loves her. She's a beautiful kitty. So beautiful kitty. All right, well, welcome back to Stone Glade. I hope that whatever you're working on, you have successes. Oh, there's some more okras, little baby okras. Yeah, I grew okra, and Blue Bear was not interested in cooking it, so it just sat on the counter. It's very frustrating. We've got to learn how to see eye to eye on how we're going to garden, and that hasn't really happened yet. But yes, I'm looking at the satisfaction of I fed a lot of bees this year, a lot of bees, and that's a good thing. Native bees and the feral colony. So there's some more marigolds for you. I will take a snapshot of those and put them on the podcast page. And I hope that you are well and what you're working on is making you feel good. And so yeah, be well, and we will talk to you again later.